Hello and welcome to Dan Doozy. Today I thought I'd take a look at a couple of battle decks. In case you're ever wondering what these battle decks look like, I thought I'd break them out and just show you what they're all about. And for comparison, I brought out a EX battle deck as well. This is actually another Victini battle deck. So we have a Victini V Battle Deck and a Noivern Battle Deck. I'm going to open up this one. The package is already open. I'm going to start with this one. Just put these off to the side. And these, if you do look at the back of them, they do tell you what the boxes come with. So unlike your typical card packs, this is not a surprise. You're gonna know what you're getting. I love to use these decks. I battle with them just kind of against myself. I use these decks. I like to figure out which are the strongest pre-built decks, as well as using these as benchmarks against my custom decks. So they're very useful. And typically with these, you will always get a coin to add to your collection. So here's the Noivern one. Nice shiny new coin there. And you will also get a playmat, or half a playmat usually. Oh, look at that. Rayquaza's in this one. It's supposed to be Rayquaza versus Noivern, it looks like. And then you have your half side of the battle. So it's kind of cool if you and your friend each have one of these decks. You always have a board to carry with you. It's the box. You also get a QR code card. Reminder cards tells you what about the special conditions, poison, sleep, paralysis, that sort of thing. You also get damage counters. If you start collecting these, you'll have 1,000,000 damage counters. And here is a little instruction booklet that typically comes with these as well. So it'll tell you how to use strategies for using the deck that you have. So I'll probably take a look at this a little bit later just so I can understand, but I'm just going to open it up and see what I can see from this deck. And then your quick start guide. So it will teach you how to play the game too. All right, let's open this one up. Okay. So we got two energies here, and here's the Noivern V. So Boom Burst. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. Synchro Loud, 60 plus damage. If you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, this attack does 120 more damage. So good, strong card here. You can hit all of your opponent's Pokemon. Very useful. 200 HP. Remember, with Pokemon V, if they get knocked out, your opponent gets 2 prize cards. So you always have to be wary of that. 200 HP is a little bit on the lower side for V and EX cards, so just be careful with your Noivern. But the cool part about this guy is he's got no weakness, no resistance, and no retreat cost. So you can pull him out if he's in trouble. So there's the Noivern. So what are we going to remember? So you're going to want to have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent. And I'm guessing that's what this deck is going to be built around, is setting the setting the stage of the game, making sure that you have the same amount as your opponent. So let's see if I'm right. Which we got energy, as you see on this card, because the dragon, typically dragons need more than one energy. So in this case, it's psychic and dark. So we're going to see both here. So dark, dark, psychic, psychic. We have Sonia, pretty standard supporter. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon or 2 basic energies. Dark energy, Great Ball. Look at the top 7 cards. Pick any Pokemon. A Milcery. Okay. We have Psychic. Natu. Ooh, Exatu is very strong. So if there's Exatu in here, which I'm assuming, this could be a strong deck. Me first. I like that attack. Zubat. Oh, fun little crochet artwork there. Of course, there's got to be Zubat with the Noivern deck, right? Gotta get all the bat friends. Gordy, supporter card. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal any number of energy cards you find there and put them into your hand. Highly useful. Dark energy, hop, pretty standard. Draw 3 cards. Psychic. Yes, this Pokemon's name is All Creamy or All Cremmy. Yeah, kind of an interesting one, but funny and usually a good, strong Pokemon. So let's see. Decorate. Attach any number of basic energy cards from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. Or Draining Kiss for 50. Heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. Okay. See? Here it is. Copycat. This is going to pair nicely with the Noivern card. So, Copycat supporter. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a card for each card in your opponent's hand. So you use this, you have the same amount of cards in your hand as your opponent, then you can use your Noivern attack, Synchro Loud, and hit for 180 damage. I knew it. And here's Exatu. So let's see, for only 1 energy, you can use Energy Warp, move an energy from one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to their active Pokemon, or Psychic. This attack does 30 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So you can kind of build up with the Energy Warp attack and hit on the next turn. I'll admit this Exatu card is not as powerful as other Exatu cards that I have. And here's Golbat. As an ability, Discreet Draw. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may draw 2 cards. Potion. So you can use the Discreet Draw. You can wait to use that when you know you need 2 cards to match the other player's hand. In this deck, you're going to have to think about how you're going to match your opponent. Potion, more Psychic, another Hop, Dark Energy, a Lugia. Wow. Colorless Lugia there. 30 HP, or excuse me, 130 HP. 120 damage potential with the Energy Loop attack. You will have to put an energy attached to this Pokemon into your hand. You have another Great Ball, Evolution Incense, so you can go and search your deck for an Evolution Pokemon. And we have a Crobat. So the ability here, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve it, you may draw 3 cards. Wing attack for 100, so strong card, stage 2 card. Escape Rope, each player switches their active Pokemon. Dark Energy, Energy Search, another Great Ball, another Crochet Zubat. Here's another Copycat, super important for this deck. Another Natu, another Milcery, Another Psychic Energy. I find with these battle decks, you have a lot of repeat cards. And I think the intention behind that is that you can actually customize them to fit your style, make them a little stronger if you want. I don't, because I like holding them as benchmarks. Hop, Potion, Psychic, another Alchemy. Dan. Hey. Dan Doozy likes Dan. Supporter card. Draw 2 cards. You and your opponent play rock, paper, scissors until someone wins. If you win, draw 2 more cards. I don't think there's not that I'm aware of, that I've seen, another card that has you play rock, paper, scissors. Kind of neat, unique there. Another Evolution Incense, Dark Energy, another Exatu, and another important copycat. Another Crobat, another Golbat, another Zubat. So you can get a couple Crobats out there, which would be highly useful. And another Lugia, Great Ball, yet another Milcery, Psychic, Natu, Energy Search, Hop, a third Golbat. So you have 3 Golbats, 3 Zubats, 2 Crobats, Escape Rope, Energy, and yet again, Copycat. So 4 Copycats in here. Obviously, the strategy there is matching your opponent's hand. So neat deck. And I didn't show this before. So your battle decks will show a level of difficulty to use. This is a play level 1. So this is one that, if you're just starting the game, you can learn to use pretty quickly. Not too hard to get the strategy down. Alrighty, now I'm going to go through this Victini V deck here. See what the coin looks like. Ah, nice. I like when they're colored like that. Got a nice bronze orange color to it. As compared to the Noivern. You can see the Noivern's a little bit darker. And Victini, of course, has the fire orange. Got another one of these half battle sides. So you have Victini on the back. Oh, and you have Gardevoir on the back. So I believe the concept behind these decks, at least the V Battle decks, they usually come out in pairs of 2. So with Noivern, it was Noivern versus Rayquaza. I don't have the Rayquaza, but I have picked up the Mewtwo V versus Melmetal V. And this one, it looks like it's supposed to be Gardevoir versus Victini. And here's another quick start guide. Another strategy guide for this deck specifically. More damage counters. More reminder cards about your special conditions. And then the actual deck and a code card as well. And we've got the Victini V here. So we'll just start looking at this guy. Victini V, Spreading Flames. Attach up to 3 fire energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. Energy Burst. This attack does 30 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. Okay, so obviously for this one, strategy is just going to be getting energy out there onto Victini and hopefully onto your enemy's active Pokemon. But if using Spreading Flames, I mean, you could take 3 fire energy straight from your discard pile and put it right onto Victini. You do that, then you have at least 4 fire energy on Victini. Assuming you put all 3 on him, then that's what? 4 times 30, math isn't my strong, 120 damage, right? So you keep building up your Victini, you can do some heavy damage. Interesting that this Victini has 2 energy for retreat. I feel like Victini is usually a quicker card, can retreat really with no energy typically, but this one does have a retreat cost. Right, let's see what the actual deck has. Keeping in mind that we need energy attached to Victini and our opponent. Alrighty. This is probably just strictly fire energy. We have a hop card. Full picks, pretty standard. Score Bunny. Cool artwork. You're gonna see some Cinderaces in here. Switch. Okay, so this is gonna help with that retreat cost. So I can switch my active Pokemon. Or I can use the Spreading Flames to move energy how I need to onto my bench. Switch Victini out with this. Hey, there's Dan once again. I like Dan Doozy likes Dan. This is the rock, paper, scissors card. Fire Energy Reboot. This guy's got style. Looks like he's wearing a little sweater. Magnum Kick for 70 for stage 1 is not bad at all. Great Ball. Ninetales. Flame Cloak. Attach a fire energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. Fire Main. 70 damage for only 2 energy. Milo, discard up to 2 cards from your hand and draw 2 cards for each card you discarded in this way. So you could use Milo. Let's say you wanted to use the Spreading Flames attack. You don't have fire energy in your discard. You could play a fire energy like you normally would. Use this card to discard a couple. And then go and grab those 2 with the Spreading Flames attack and use them. So there's a strategy there. And similar here, discard your hand and draw 7 cards. So if you have a lot of energy in your hand, you can discard them and get them back with the Spreading Flames attack. Alright, and a Cinderace. Ability is Libero. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, you may attach up to 2 fire energy cards from your discard pile to it. And then the Flare Striker does 190 damage, but you have to discard 2 energy. So you can see there's a lot of pulling from the discard pile here. So using this deck, don't be too worried about using up energy because you're going to be able to get it back with different attacks. Fire decks a lot of times have that where you pull from the discard. Gym Trainers, pretty standard. Draw 2 cards. If your opponents were knocked out, draw 2 more cards. Oh, if any of your Pokemon, were knocked out, draw 2 more cards. Minccino. Speed. Attach a basic energy card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. Pretty straightforward. Fire. Hop. We have Chatot. Minor errand running. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Always useful, being able to find energy. Turtonator. This card shows up in the Battle Academy, the Yellow Battle Academy deck with Cinderace. Actually, the fire deck in there. The heavy hitter. Fire Energy, Evolution Incense, Hop, another Reboot, again, repetitive. Sonia, Bullpix, Score Bunny, Fire a level ball. Search your deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less. Useful. Chinchino. Ability is Make Do. You must discard a hand from your hand. Discard a card from your hand. Once during your turn, you may draw 2 cards. So again, discarding. Energy Assist. Attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So don't be worried about discarding energy if you're using this deck. Seen all of them. Minchino. I'm guessing there's another Chinchino in here. Dan again. Milo, important for this deck. Being able to discard 2 cards. Another Cinderace. Switch, also important. I like having switches in a deck. It's very, very useful. Ninetales, Vulpix, another level ball. Fire Energy, another Professor's Research. So again, being able to discard. Hop, another Chatot, Fire, and a Reboot. So we only had 1 Chinchino. Still, there's good potential here. This also is a level 1 play deck, so it's not too hard. This one seems a little bit more straightforward to me than the Noivern deck, but you got to remember that you're going to be discarding energy and pulling it back from the discard pile. And to compare, I grabbed the Victini EX deck, and so you can see right off the bat different artwork style. Just comparing these 2 cards. They both have 190 HP. They're both going to EX and V. Your opponent's going to take 2 prize cards for knocking them out. The EX card, Strafe, so you may switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Useful. And Victory Flame. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack for 220 damage, though. I mean, you're going to knock out most Pokemon. But the retreat cost on this one is only 1 energy versus 2 on this guy. So I think there's only 1 Victini EX. I won't look too closely at this deck right now. But, you know, similar to that one, you have Great Ball, Cyclizar, Paldean Tauros, Skeledirge. This is a strong card. It would be interesting to see these 2 battle. I should do that at some point. Tauros. This deck feels more like a heavy hitter card with the Skeledirge and the Magmortar. There's high damage potential. Less strategy involved, more just hitting your opponents hard and using that Victini EX. But getting Skeledirge takes some work because it's a stage 3. Magmortar, only a stage 1. Yeah, you got Switch, Nemona cards as your Magmar, another Magmortar, more Fuecoco. So basically you got Tauros, Magmar, or Magmortar, Skeledirge, and this Victini in this deck. So just heavy hitting versus a little bit of strategy on this side. If I were to pit them against each other, I think I would probably give the edge to the EX deck. The Skeledirge card is particularly deadly, but again, it's kind of hard to get to a stage 3 sometimes. But oh, and here you go again. Passionate Singing. Attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. But Blazing Shout also does 190 damage. So this probably would be a pretty good battle. But I think the support cards behind this Victini are maybe a little stronger than the support cards behind the Victini V deck. We'll see. I'll have to pit them against each other one day. But there you have it. There's 3 different decks, 2 V Battle decks, and even an EX there in the middle with your 2 coins. So the battle decks are fun from a collector's perspective, even if you're just interested in getting these cool coins. I have quite the collection of coins now, and those are always fun. Thank you very much for watching.